Yes.
Welcome to Friday Fuel.
What is up? What is up? Yo, yo, yo.
What's going on, everybody?
Good
We're
morning.
back with another Friday Fuel, guys. We're pumped for this one. We had a guest that we were going to have on. They weren't able to come on, which was no biggie. So we're just kind of, talking it up today. In all honesty, y'all, we're just, we're just kind of, just chilling, just talking it up and everything. So we're blessed to, Joe and Tony, thanks for the opportunity again, for us always getting here. I think every day, I feel like these weeks keep flying by. I really do. I think last week was Cody, and I'm like, dude, we're already sitting back here on the next Friday Fuel show.
That was
It's like
yesterday.
I know it's so weird. It's hard to understand.
15.
Yeah, dude, it's been a blast. Shout out Medicare Machine Factory, Joshua Youngs, man, we love you. If nobody knows, he actually had a heart attack a little bit ago, and dude's back working, man, writing MAPDs, freaking everything, bro. So shout out to him.
More than all of us combined with a heart attack, just to put that out there.
And he showed up to Nate's mastermind that I was at, Nate's mastermind's mentor. And bro, I was like, dude, what are you doing here? He's like, bro, I'm good. And I was like, dude, you're a freaking beast. I was like, this dude's freaking crazy. But today we're kind of talking about, I wanted to touch on Adam with something, but today we're kind of talking about finding a good home, when it comes to the insurance space, because a lot of new agents come on and they're not really, they don't know really which way to go, and they don't know if I should go here, if that's gonna be better, or go here. Are they gonna provide me better leads here? Are they gonna give me better mentorship here? Right. Mm-hmm. So we're kind of gonna dive into that. But first, Adam, I wanted to touch on with you, man. I was watching. I'd called you this morning. Yeah. I said that I had watched your podcast with Mason Van Meter. I was like, dude, this product is freaking crazy. That you were telling us in our group chat, like, what was it? A couple weeks ago, you're like, dude, you guys got to get on this. You guys got to get contracts. So I was like, bro, what is it? So I want you kind of explain, Adam, what the product is, so all these agents can see what's really going on with this company, bro.
Sure. Yeah. So I recently was introduced to a product. It's a whole life product. But the great thing about it is that they have really, really lenient underwriting guidelines. Yep. So you could, and I use this example because I just wrote one of these the other day. You could have stage 4 kidney disease, like going through dialysis, and still qualify for a standard day 1 final expense policy.
Day 1. Stress that one more time. Day 1.
Adam, I was talking to my dad about that, bro. I was like, dude, how are they even making money? They're about to pay like a crap ton of claims, dude. I feel like
I don't know. I mean, all I can say is I just got the check this morning in my bank account. So it's real. I don't know what to say other than that. But I'll talk a little bit about, the benefits of the policy and, how easy the application process is. So essentially, they'll cover anyone from age 0 up to 85. So, even a little kid can get a policy like this. The max that they'll do is 30,000, and that caps out at age 50, and then it goes down in increments from there. But the application process is super easy. There's no height and weight requirements. There's no tobacco use question. They don't even do like an MIB check. They're just basing it off of the health questions that you answer on the application. And if you
dude, Adam, that's got to be like illegal at a point, right, bro? No MIB background check, dude. Like what?
I mean, I'm sure they still pull medical records of some sort, but not from the MIB. So
people need to understand how crazy this is. Like you can, it's so stupid. Like you can have a heart attack, diabetes, kidney dialysis, and get immediate coverage.
Weigh 350 pounds. And
yes.
And be a smoker your entire life.
Yes. Yeah. And it's great too, because like all of the Joe don't let slimy agents get on this product. It's a great point. But the cool thing about it is like all the rates are pretty comparable too. Like it's about the same prices as like all these other final expense carriers, you know, AmAm, Aetna, all those. Really the only things that somebody would have to go guaranteed issue for are if they have AIDS or HIV, if they have any kind of current cancer that they're going through like chemo or whatever for, any like mental problems like dementia, and then if you've had a recent organ transplant within the last 5 years. Other than that, like all those things that we were listening before, heart attack, stroke, neuropathy, all these things are day one issued.
That's so great.
What's the company called so everyone knows? Because I think you said it to me. I'm curious as well.
So it's Sika Life Insurance Company of America. The product is called Superior Choice.
Can you spell Sika for us? The people that don't know how to spell that.
Sika, C-I-C-A.
Okay.
So I can get you contracted with the product if you'd like. Just shoot me a message or comment below and I'll reach out to you. And commissions start at 105%. So it's pretty awesome.
That's crazy, dude. Is there any cons with that at all? Like, is there any disadvantages?
The only downside currently to this product is there's only 2 ways that you can write an app. Okay. Number one, you can do a voice signature, but you have to record the entire thing. So like you have to read every question verbatim and read like the voice authorization script and all that. So that's a little tedious, and then you have to upload the file.
Yeah.
The other way is you're doing it in person and they sign on screen. So as of now, that's the only way to do it virtual is via voice signature. But I know that I think in the beginning of 2024, they're planning on adding an email signature. So it should get better soon. I just don't have
Is that voice signature process? Is it like the Forrester's one where you got to call in?
No, it's you and the client, but you have to record the call and you have to read like a script that says something like, you're agreeing that the voice signature is your legal binding signature, whatever.
I see.
And then reading every single question verbatim with the client on a recorded line.
Okay.
Crazy. Just having a catch-all, someone that doesn't qualify for anything else is so huge. I'm definitely gonna get contracted with that.
Yeah. Like I wrote, so I did a replacement policy on one that I had written last year. It was like last July, I think. And they had a modified policy. It was like $116 a month. They were still in their waiting period. And I was able to rewrite it. I got the sticky note right here. It was $110 a month. We rewrote it for $94, and they got an additional $5,000 coverage day one issued.
Wow.
So, win-win-win.
It's a win all around.
So I'm looking just because business-minded. I'm like, will those guys stay in business for very long, right? Will they actually pay out? So they've been in business since 1966. So they're not the oldest company, right? But I mean,
I think what a lot of people got to realize is these insurance companies are so good at making money off of your money that, I mean, they're only insuring for $30K. $30K, if they were insuring upwards of 100 to 200, I think it'd be a little bit sketchy. But a $30K policy for no medical background, no medical checks is pretty fair.
I just still find it hard to believe. Like, I still find out like, how are they really making money? Because if you're insuring someone that has kidney dialysis or something crazy like that, it's like, bro, they're getting ready to die. You know what I mean?
Really? I mean, I know people who are in dialysis that like
for like 4 years
running around. Yeah. So, but yeah, welcome from the Dallas airport.
Make sure you allow StreamYard to view your comments. All of our Facebook users.
I think that's Jeff. Because he's flying to Maryland to go watch the Michigan Maryland game, and he's got family up in Maryland. So
shout out.
Dude wrote a fat annuity yesterday too, bro. Fat.
Tell us.
Dude, it was like what? Jeff, it was like what? Over 600,000, bro. crazy, bro.
Ooh.
Dude's a dog, bro.
Alex,
For
how
real.
are you guys finding these annuities?
Oh, bro, I've said it again. It's annuity seminars, bro. Like and it's through White Glove, like kind of like I mentioned. That's the vendor that we use. They get the clients' butts and seats. Yep, dude threw it right in, dude threw it
That
right
man
in the
got down
freaking
to the
chat,
last
bro.
number, baby.
Right in the chat. But yeah,
Surprised he doesn't have the penny amount.
dude, Jeff's a freaking beast. I love the guy. I love you, bro. But yeah, so we'll do this seminar like at a library meeting room, for example, or like just like a cabin spot. That the other day, my dad and I had one. It was in this cabin spot at Glenpool. Like I said, a bunch of people. Like there was 15 households that showed up.
Wow.
It's crazy. So, dude, every client sitting down there has anywhere between 100 to. Jeff sat down with a guy yesterday that had 2.2 mil. So, dude, these are insane. And all you're paying is $250 a lead, right? So, and you're paying per household. So if you get a husband and wife, that's $250, right? It's not $500 for each of them. Or for together, it's $250 for, all together. So even if, you get people that walk in, you don't got to pay for them either. And I've said this before too. The people that don't show up, they still give you the names and numbers so you can contact them and set up an appointment with them. So
for free, right? You don't even have to pay for those.
And it's a reoccurring thing, right? Because you have your return on investment is just crazy, your ROI, and it's just a cycling thing. Like I'll put in 4,500, make 20 grand. Put in 4,500, make 20 grand off these annuity seminars. It's just a cycling thing. Like you can't stop it because it's working, right? Don't fix something if it's or what's the saying? If it's not broke, don't fix it, right? So,
Hey, real quick, Ryan, the video will be posted on YouTube. The Insurance Syndicate has a YouTube channel. Yep. Just type Insurance Syndicate and you'll find all of our videos there, as well as all of the other daily videos, live streams that are on the channel.
I mean, if you guys are interested in annuities and talking about that, dude, reach out to me or Jeff. Definitely get in contact. The white glove crap is just going crazy. So
yeah, I need to learn more about it, honestly. Like, yeah, I've done some presentations with other people for annuities, but like I don't know hardly anything about how they work or whatever.
And we were all talking. We got to set up a time for everyone to come down to Tulsa. We all do an annuity seminar together.
Dude, that's a great segue into kind of our main topic, especially Jeff. If you want to learn, I will teach you. Getting around people that want to teach you, that want to see you succeed is key. And Jeff is one of those guys. So if you have any questions, always hit up Jeff. He's such a great guy.
Yeah.
100%. And a killer, an absolute boss man.
Killing it, dude. But yeah, so kind of like the topic today, like we said earlier, finding a good home, what that looks like, because agents scribble around, they don't know where to go. They'll start here and then end up here and then end up somewhere else, and it could become a kind of a tricky thing because you obviously got to find a home spot. You can't just keep jumping around, Yeah. I would just start out, Collin, what do you feel like to give an advice to the agent? I think I want to hear from all of us, but to give an advice to a starting agent that's trying to find a home, what's some things that they should be looking for? I feel something like that.
I think that's a really good question. The thing that I would look for primarily is mentorship, but not just mentorship with like a big name or a big company. You want somebody that's not so far ahead of you that they really can't help you. That it's like, I mean, not that they can't help you. It's just if somebody has 1,600 downline agents or 500 downline agents and you answered off of an Indeed ad or whatever it is, and you looked up the company or whatever it is and they have this big name in the industry, I mean, you're most likely only going to see that person on Zoom calls and you're probably not going to talk to them that often.
Yep.
But yeah, they got 400% comp. So, so really the thing I look for is somebody who's really just a couple steps ahead of you, that are in the process still with you. Not that you can't be with a big name in the industry, But you want to find a personal mentor that it's like, hey, look, I'm in a house and they're going to answer.
Yep.
Or, hey, look, like I want to be role playing every single day at this time, and they're going to be there for you. You don't want somebody who's too big that isn't going to be giving you the time of day. And I mean, there's big companies. I don't want it to sound like you can't go with a big company, but because they've got good training that if you're a very good self learner or very independent, that you can do it on yourself, do it by yourself, go for it. But for me personally, I like to have both. I like to have the training manuals that I can read the scripts, go through the objections, all that type of thing. But I also need a mentor that's like with me knocking doors or with me on the phones when I get started, so that it's like, okay, when I get that objection, I saw that's how you mastered it. So let me implement that into my script. So those really, if you have those two things with a not crappy lead source, you'll make plenty of money in the industry.
Oh, 100%.
Lead source, to me, you can find any lead source really anywhere, but good mentorship and good legit training, those are my top two priorities.
Very well said.
So,
and I'll kind of take over here. For me, the biggest struggle was actually looking internally. I think a lot of people just kind of see the first opportunity or see a good opportunity and they just jump at it without taking into account what kind of personality they have, what kind of worker they are. And, for me, I was stuck into final expense telesales for a very long time with the company, and it's just not my strong suit. I struggle to have that monotone tone, not to sound salesy because I'm naturally a high energy, upbeat guy. And man, was just wasting money on leads, not getting anywhere. And it was less of the activity and the effort I was put into, and just the fact that I wasn't in the best case scenario to see myself succeed. So some big news. I will be joining Alex and his father with TIA here soon. We're working on that. Going to go up to Oklahoma. And the reason I am doing that and joining Alex is, one, because he is obviously a very good friend, but two, and most importantly, they have the kind of business that I know I can see myself succeed at. They have the personalities already there that I know coincides with my own. And they're doing the kind of business that I also want to replicate in person, also over the phone, doing seminars, going out to houses, meeting at restaurants. And that's definitely something I want to replicate.
Love you, bro.
I promise you, within 6 months of being in Oklahoma and with TIA, I'll succeed more than the last year, 100%.
Let's go. I love you, bro. I appreciate you, Donnie. Let's go.
One thing I want to say about that too, I feel like a lot of people get stuck, and this doesn't just happen in the insurance industry, but like in any field. Thanks, Josh. You too.
Shout out, Josh.
In any field, people get comfortable right where they're at, and so they don't make changes, or they don't make moves in their career or in their personal life because, well, I've got this thing. It's okay. I don't love it, but like it's security, right? And I was listening to a podcast one time, and they were talking about how people need to feel like so uncomfortable that it makes them change, right? Like when people get too comfortable, they just become complacent and they don't step outside of their comfort zone to take advantage of a better opportunity, right? And so like you have to be put into a position where it's no longer comfortable, and most people do, to be able to make that jump. But I think it's important to see, like, especially in the insurance space. I know when I was deciding whether or not I was going to leave my previous FMO and come over to Impact, I was like, but like, I don't want to lose everything that I've built, like yada, yada, yada. And somebody like gave me a slap in the face, and they were like you hardly have anything as it is. Like your potential here is so much higher than where you are currently. Like you could replicate that in like 2 or 3 months that you've been doing for a year and a half. Right. And I'm like, okay, that's a good point. But like sometimes it just takes that outside, third person perspective to really say like, oh yeah, I really am not starting over, right? But I'm stepping into something better, and it can really launch you into something else. So.
And I just want to make a point real quick that going back to our favorite word, coachable, a lot of agents would have taken offense to what that person told you and been like, oh, I don't have much to leave for. And the fact that you didn't, and you said constructive criticism, and you said, you're right. I could be doing bigger and better things instead of being offended is very, very huge, and why you succeed.
Yeah.
Great point, bro. Great point. I would say for me, when it comes for an agent that's starting out looking for a home, I think it honestly comes back to what type of person you're looking for, or like what's the actual personality of the person that you're trying to look for, right? Because if I go back to kind of like the colors thing that we did at SWAT, like if you're a red and you're working with a red, obviously you guys are you guys can work well together. Maybe a yellow into a red may not work the best. And I think that's another big thing which Nate has taught me about, is when you have people come on, having them take that color test so you know which way to reach them, because you're not going to reach a yellow by, slamming on their ass pretty much, telling this, and this, you know what I mean? That they're not going to come to you. You know what I mean? You're going to push them away. If it's a red on red, yeah, hop on them because they want the same thing you have. You know what I mean? So, I think it comes back to a starting agent looking for what they actually want. Like Collin said, a good mentor. Definitely a good mentor. Like my dad, for example, is really easy for me to choose mine. But for most people in the industry, it's hard. One thing I've noticed as well is people say they want to be held accountable, but when it's time for them to be held accountable, they don't want to be held accountable too. You know what I mean? So definitely, regardless of where you're going, you're going to have to be held accountable if you want to be successful. But taking that and running with that, when you are being held accountable, because that's going to help you succeed overall. So that's really where I'm at.
Where can people find that personality test?
Yeah, I was also going to mention that.
So I have it on a sheet. I can get it and
I'll say if anything, we'll post it in the comments afterwards because I definitely want to take that as well.
Yeah. So I could post that in the syndicate for you guys that are watching here. And people obviously see that aren't even in here, but yeah, I'll make sure I get that posted because it's very crucial, and you'll know how to reach an agent better so you don't run them away. You know what I mean? Because sometimes with agents too, agents are just going to do what they want to do, and you got to kind of let them go. You know what I mean? They're just going to kind of do their business. They're comfortable where they're at. You just got to kind of let them go. You can only reach someone so much until they really start getting pushed away, and they're like, "Hey, I'm good where I'm at," and then you kind of just have to let them, run off pretty much. That's kind of where I'm at though on that, direct situation.
I think it's very important though for an agent to really know what they want and kind of do research. I take action quickly, which can be a good thing, but also a bad thing.
Very much so.
It's like anything that's shiny, it's like, ooh, I like that. Sometimes I think the grass is greener on the other sides when it's not. But truly knowing what you want. So I came from an LOA model, which for some people that's a good thing. I didn't have a lot of money when I got started. And when I first got licensed, I was with an FMO where it's just basically buy a ton of leads and zero mentorship. And it's just, I just had bought a house and just had our first kid. And it was like, this isn't working. So I went and worked as an LOA, and I, was very successful as an LOA, had built, close to 1,000 clients in a little over 2 years. And so that worked for me for that point in time. And I'm grateful for that because I was able to learn the business with, not a lot of stress attached to it at being a business owner, but I knew that I wanted to own my own book and have that option. And so I knew what I wanted, so it was easier to make the jump. And so a lot of people, when they're shopping out cultures of FMOs, you need to know what you want so that, when you find it, you can make the jump and you're not second guessing. because it's not going to be as perfect as you think it's going to be. It's not as good as you think it's going to be, but it's also not as bad as you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, when I first started in the industry, I was doing cell phone sales. I was doing inside sales, and I had a recruiter reach out to me from a what did they call it? Not independent, but like State Farm is a
Captive.
captive.
There's a captive agency that reached out to me. That's how I got my license. That's how I got into insurance. I didn't even last like a week and a half through their training program. I was like, I hate this so much. So then that's when I found the health insurance side, and I switched over to health insurance. Was doing that for a year and a half. But just take your time, do some research, like see what options you have, because there's so much out there. And yeah, that's the advice I give too.
Oh, dude, you made a great saying. Obviously, you said it. And the grass is never greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it, right?
Yeah.
So when you get to your goals and what you want to achieve, you watering those goals every day. So like your morning routine, right? You're already getting a jump start to getting everything done. You're working out. You're writing down your goals. You're praying. You're writing down what you're grateful for. I do that every morning, bro. Right? I'm watering my goals and my dreams of what I'm grateful for every day, because if I continue to do that every single day, everything will line out how it is. That's something that I've really had to take into account too, as how I'm doing. I'm progressing very fast at a young age, and I couldn't even begin to imagine it. And when my dad actually told me, my dad told me that saying, the grass isn't greener on the other side, the grass is greener where you water it. And that's really what it is, because I'm watering my goals and what I want to do every single day. So that's working very hard at what you're doing, right? That's what's watering your goals and your dreams, is actually working at it, because people get comfortable and then they stop watering their goals. And that's why they're still that's why they're still at where they're at today. Right. So that's something that definitely has stuck with me too, is, watering everything that you want to achieve, because if you don't do that, then you're not going to get it, because the grass isn't greener on the other side.
And I just want to say this: if you aren't willing to work, no matter where you go, is never going to work for you. Like Alex said, man, you have to work for anything. You can find a better opportunity with the best leads, 400% commission rates. But if you don't get on the phones, if you don't go set appointments, get into seminars, like you're getting nowhere. I think a lot of people look for a new place when first they could make the place they're at now work if they just worked. And then two, they look for another place because they think they're not going to have to work. And it's sad to say, but believe me, in this industry, no matter where you go, it's going to be work. A lot of us are independent business owners, even if we're under an FMO or IMO. You have to act like an independent business owner. You have to be present every single day for yourself, on weekends, early mornings, late nights. It's work.
Yep, you nailed it. And yeah, a lot of people, how many people watch us, but you're already in the right spot. It's exactly what Donald said. You just have to put in the work. There's no secret sauce to where it's just like, oh, well, this, IMO, FMO, I'm seeing somebody who in 2 months already wrote $40,000 in AP. I'm going to go over there. And it's just like, dude, that's because they put in 10 times as much work as you.
Exactly.
And so it's just like, you just got to put in the work. You can be successful wherever.
Yep.
Now, is there cultures and mentorship that would better fit you? Yes. But I mean, companies are successful. You can find success wherever. But
And that raises another question, Collin, after what you said. Like, Adam, I would start with you. Like, what's for a new agent that comes on, like because we're talking about finding a home, finding this person that you can look up to and work with. What's an advice that you could give a starting agent? Like, hey, you do these couple things and you do those consistently at a high level and water it, what's something that you could give for a starting agent that is looking for, that it factor?
One thing that I've learned being in insurance, like there's a lot of people that will tell you, like, just do what I do and you'll be successful.
Yep.
But sometimes that can create conflicting ideas because a lot of people do things differently, right?
Yep.
And I know when I first started, for like the first year that I was in life insurance, it was every day on YouTube, watching YouTube videos, like trying to learn stuff, see how people do things. And I got to a point where I was consuming so much content and so many different people telling me to do so many different things, so many different ways. It just got really confusing and like overwhelming. So
Adam.
the advice that I give is just like pick one person that you really connect with and that you see is having success and do what they do. Don't try and duplicate Cody Askins and Nate Offert and Mason Van Meter and all these different people. Pick one person, do what they do, and you'll see the success that they have.
It's the best advice you could have given.
Yeah, 100%.
Just because then you get analysis paralysis where you're just like, well, this person says this in their script, this person says that in their script, this is how they overcome this objection, this is how they close, and it's just like you're trying to piece 40 together.
Yeah.
And then it's just like you're trying to create your own script, but then you don't have the confidence that it's like, hey, this actually works because I created it. So yeah, the best thing that you can do is just do what Adam said. Pick one person that you feel like personality wise you can sell the same way, and just copycat exactly what they're doing if they're having success. Because that's what I did. So I did door-to-door sales for 3 years. And
pest control,
dude.
Yes, sir.
Knocking on the doors and even the no soliciting signs. But
those are the best ones to knock.
What?
Those are the best ones to knock.
It's because they know they have to buy. But it was the honestly one of the best things I could have done. It was a crash course on body language and how to control what you talk and speed and all of that fun stuff, and just how to take no. Like, dude, like if you sell 3 in a day, you're going to be in the top 1% of the company, but like you can't just knock 3 doors and get 3 sales. I mean, that happened a couple of times, and you go off and you have like 15 in a day or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you also have to knock, like it's a numbers game, dude. Like I knew if I knocked 10 doors, I would close 1. Those were my numbers because I track my numbers. And so it's kind of the same thing with insurance. Just know your numbers and treat it as a numbers game. Take the emotion out of it so that when you're having a bad day, it's not like, what's going on? I suck. It's like, no, it's a numbers game. Fix your tone, make sure your body posture's right, even if you're on the phone, and you'll sell. So that's all I got.
Donnie, do you have something different to add on that?
Yeah, I feel, especially for new agents, this is something that I ran into a brick wall with, is I expected the mentorship and the training to be given to me instead of being outward and asking for it, where I would get upset that, my mentor didn't reach out to me this week, or, I wasn't sent a certain script or video file, instead of just putting myself out there. And that's a little bit of self-depreciation where I think, because these guys are millionaires or super successful with a lot of agents, that I don't have the right to go ask. But I promise you, 90% of the people in this industry want to help you and are incredibly sweet and incredibly nice, no matter how much money, no matter how much wealth and success they have. If you just put yourself out there and ask good questions to the right people, you'll find answers, I promise you. And I can't tell you how many times or how much time I wasted just sitting there waiting to like be given a golden platter with all of the answers on it, instead of just going to go try to find the answers myself.
And how do you feel like an agent that is waiting, like how can they break through that, I guess?
That's the decision in your head. There's no secret sauce. For me, it's a lot of anxiety. I don't ever want to, appear to be dumb or less than. So for me, it's a lot of personal anxiety that I had to get over. And again, it's just that switch where I said, who cares what other people think of me? Who cares what, if I'm going to appear stupid or appear less than? Because I promise you, I'm only going to ask a stupid question once.
Well, I don't feel like there is I don't feel like there is stupid questions though.
Oh, here we go. He's one of these guys.
Honest, a new agent. I mean, they don't know any better, you know.
But no, that's absolutely true.
You know,
And you see it. I'm still dealing with it where there is no stupid questions, bro. If you don't know what you don't know, so just go ask. Ask one of us. Ask your mentor. Ask anybody.
You said, "Oh, here we go." Oh, we got this guy.
Yeah, man. I think that's the best thing you can do to kind of wrap it up. Just do what Adam said. Find somebody that you can really mirror and do what they want.
Yep.
Find a mentor and find a culture that fits you.
And work.
Like what Donnie said, put in the work. Those 4 things, man, you'll be just fine.
And honestly, you guys covered it all, so I don't even gotta say anything. You guys covered it all. Eddie, last thoughts or words we got here for the audience?
I'm good, man.
Go kill it, man. Friday fuel. Let's end Friday strong.
Let's go.
Friday fuel.
Friday fuel.
It's Friday. If we're behind on our goal, let's hit our goal. Let's do whatever it takes to win. We got today and tomorrow to hit our goal if we're behind on it. So let's attack the day. Let's pray to God. Everything will work out, right? So
Amen.
We appreciate you guys. I have I wanted to get on here and mention also I'm doing a free webinar today at 5 p.m. Central Time. I'll put the link out in the syndicate. It's how you can get 5 to 25 referrals per client you sit down with. Doesn't matter if you work 65 and over, 65 and under, whether you work remote or in the field, it's all going to be the same thing. So I will make sure I put that link out for you guys 5 p.m. Central Time today.
Yep. It's free.
On there.
It's free? For free?
Free.
That's my favorite 4-letter F word. Free.
I beg to differ.
Well, we appreciate you guys. We'll look forward to seeing you guys next Friday. Everyone, go kill it out there and let's be merry, y'all. Let's have a good one. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Go kill it, y'all.
See you guys.